Hi guys, if you've watched the, 7 episodes I think of me converting this Mini Cooper to hobby grade radio control, you'll know that it had an annoying knocking noise as it was going along and I couldn't trace it. I did at one point say it looked like it had got a flat front tyre, there was a flat spot on it, but I didn't seem to think that was the problem. So I took apart the gearbox and checked all the suspension and that sort of thing, and I couldn't track it down. Well, I've just been running it backwards and forwards, slowly, watching that front left wheel, and it bounces up and down. So I think it is as simple as that. That tyre has got a flat spot on it, probably where it's been in storage for a long time and it's just flattened down. So I've put my action camera on there so we can actually watch it as we're going along. So we'll have a look at the footage. To be honest, I'm looking at it, it could just easily be this wheel. There is a fair bit of play in them, but that one has a flat spot just there. There. In fact, is that 2 flat spots? No, just the one. How about this one? And this one looks alright. I've tried putting little bits of foam in where the suspension does bang up against the bodywork. But that doesn't seem to make any difference. It still makes the knocking noise. I will just run it without the bodywork on it, because the bodywork seems to amplify the noise. that's confused things, guys. I was trying to get some good video of the front wheels and I've killed the ESC. Not totally unexpected, because that's only rated at a 2S and I've been running it with a 3S. So that's what you get. So I have a little break now. I've got other ESCs that will fit in there. But in the meantime, I'm going to have my midday snack, which happens to be scone with cream on it and jam. Right, we'll try going round in circles again. I've replaced the ESC and I'm just using a 2S lithium ion battery instead of a 3S. The ESC ringing, high-pitched whine. Let's try the other way. think I can still hear the noise. I'll put the body shell back on. Just quickly, for those people who think it might be knocking the bodywork, don't know if we get a light on that the right way. If I push it all the way in on its suspension and move it, it doesn't touch the bodywork. Same on that side, push it in. Doesn't touch the bodywork. Back end. Suspension in, doesn't touch the bodywork, and on that side, doesn't touch the bodywork. So it's not the wheels rubbing on the bodywork. I think it is a flat, which tyre was it? This tyre's got a bit of a flat on it, which we noticed early on, and I think simply with the bodywork on there it just amplifies the noise it makes. I did wonder whether it was when the front suspension goes up and down and knocks like that. Well, I think that's what happens. I think it's this wobbling around and it's doing that. I did try putting a bit of foam under there to deaden it there. I could put it back here, and at the back end I also put bits of foam under the back. One piece has come off, but it didn't make any difference. I don't know. I've tried manipulating the tyres to try and get rid of that flat spot. I suppose the only other thing would be to try and get the tyre off and stick a foam core underneath it to push it out. It's just a little bit flat there. The only other thing that came to mind was earlier on I was talking about the toe in and the toe out, and I'm wondering if that might be a problem. That is causing the wheels to rotate unevenly because they're trying to either turn out or turn in. I reckon it's the toe in or the toe out. I'm going to print some new cross members, whatever you want to call it, that are going to push the wheels either in or out. Right, I've been thinking more about this. I'm going to change the linkage I put in the front there. This one, I'm actually pushing the steering further apart. How do we explain that? That'll give me more toe in than it's got at the moment. Because when I first did it, it looked like it was toe out, like that. And then I changed it to one with +1mm in the middle, compared to what it should have been. And that straightened it up. I'm now going to put +2 in there, which should be pointing them slightly inwards. See if that makes it better or worse with the knocking noise. Right, if you haven't been following the series so far, this is the steering that I modified. I've got a servo in there, radio control servo. And I had to 3D print that blue bit to link it all up together. So that's my +1mm. That's my +2. So those should pull out and go in, out, in. I just need to tap them a little bit to push them right through. I must say it's quite nice when it screws together rather than hot glue. You've got a chance to take it all apart and work on it rather than having to get the hot glue off it. I say that because I've just done a little modification to a little radio control car which involved hot gluing the servo in place. Which means it works, but if you've got to do any changes to it, it's a pain in the bottom. That's why those springs dropped out. Okay, and that goes back on there. And if this doesn't work or makes it worse, we know we want to go the other way with the +1, +2 millimeters. We'll have to go 0 or -1. Line up on there. That's better. It's more of a raffle. Still rattling. Yeah, haven't cured it. I thought we had for a minute then. We've actually increased the turning circle as well. That's not turning quite as tightly as it was. Yeah, we haven't cured it. Oh well. I thought it was worth a try. I suppose we could try going the other way with the tracking, see if that does anything. Very frustrating. Well, I've just spent another day working on this Blue Mini to try and find the cause of the knocking noise as it goes along. I thought it might have been the steering geometry because I had changed it, the toe in and the toe out. I'd printed that one, which gave me an extra millimetre gap between the two pillars there, which meant the wheels pointed inwards slightly, toe in. I increased it by another millimetre, and that didn't cure the knocking. I've gone back to the original steering linkage there, which actually gives us a bit of toe out. The wheels at the front are pointing outwards slightly. I've put blue tack on the front suspension to stop it bouncing up and down. That deadens the noise a bit. But it's still there. So I don't think it's the front steering geometry. I think I've tested that and we haven't found a problem there. So I think what we're back to is what I started with right at the beginning. And I think the back right, which is actually the left as we're looking at it, back axle is bent. And I think that's what our problem is. And there's so many other things that I've spotted on the way through, but that does look like that's the problem, doesn't it? I mean, that one's got a bit of a wobble on it. I have to compare it to a bit of the edge of the bodywork to see the movement. That one certainly seems to have more movement than that one. So I think with that rocking up and down, that's making the front end bounce, and I think the noise actually comes from the front end suspension hitting the bodywork or bottoming out, but I think it's the back end that's actually going up and down. I don't think there's anything I can do about that. Well, I don't think I'm any further forwards, because I thought it was the back right hand axle bent, but I think we're getting a fair bit of movement on this side as well. I don't know. I will review the footage, but I think the bottom line is we're just going to have to live with it. If it's out in the skate park racing around, we're not going to worry too much about the noise it makes. Thanks for watching. If you want more information, check down below in the video description. If you like this video, you might like this one up here. And if you want to subscribe, you can check out my channel over here. Up here is my latest video on my channel, and down here is a video playlist associated with the video you've just watched. Thanks again for watching.